You're listening to The Women in the Arena. I'm your host, Paige Rene, former collegiate athlete turned leadership entrepreneur for women just like you. Each week, I'm bringing you a new person or message to help you expand and elevate into the woman you know you're meant to be. Now, let's step into the arena. What's up, you guys? Welcome back inside the arena with a podcast today that is just you and I conversing and specifically answering two questions. Number one, what is the number one reason that women don't take the leap on their dreams? Whether that is going from your full-time business into entrepreneurship or starting a business and expanding your income, right? So that's one part. And the second question that I'm addressing is for the women that do take that leap or do start to elevate their income, what is the thing that stops them? And I'm so excited to talk to you guys about that today because it's really been big on my heart and I've been activated in my business and I've been shifting some things. And I just want to bring you guys along for the ride because I think when I first started this journey, 6 years ago now, I had this idea that it was easy. I did. And I wasn't in it for ease, but I did just have this skew of reality that starting a business was going to be pretty seamless. Everybody's online. You put your content online, everybody's going to buy. And I think due to the nature of the past 4 years since the pandemic, things have changed because most of business has been moved into the online world. And so buying habits change. Demand is different. And so I just say all of that because it's been a big conversation in my world and I want to share this to you. So if you're somebody in sales or you're somebody that wants more in specific for your life and feels like you've kind of gone to sleep to your dreams or ambitions, you definitely are going to want to tune into this because we've got a lot to say, y'all. And the first thing that I'm going to say is it ain't the player. It's the game, meaning there's nothing wrong with you if you are in the space of entrepreneurship. It is the game you're playing. It is understanding that the rules are forever changing, buying behavior is forever changing, and you shouldn't take it so personally. And I know that I can say this to you in a safe space because I've been there myself. And I'm sure I'm going to revisit it again where I'm like, woe is me, what's going on? And have to adjust what I'm doing. So going back to question number one, let me give you the backstory. This came from a conversation I had at Lululemon. So one of the leaders at our local store asked me this question. She said, what do you think stops most women from making the leap from their full-time job to opening up a business or full-time job going into entrepreneurship? And I said, I can give you a lot of the superficial reasons why, meaning money is a factor, time is a factor, the unknown is a factor. But I said my number one reason why I see women not going for what they want is the uncertainty of the how. They have this vision, they have this dream, and then how stops them. How am I going to make this work? Am I going to replace my income at my job? How am I going to work with clients, right? There is this blueprint that's missing. And when you are in a job where somebody else is giving you direction and taking the lead, that is your blueprint. You have somebody to ask at all times. So to think that you can take a leap into entrepreneurship doing everything by yourself feels a little unrealistic in my opinion. I know that I couldn't have done it myself. And so the how is the biggest thing. Right. And the how stops you before you even take the leap a lot of times, right? You have this idea, you have this vision, you have this feeling inside, you know you're meant for more, you know that you've always seen yourself in a bigger space, creating bigger impact. But then you're like, okay, but where do I start? What's my next step? And it's a valid question, but it's not supposed to be a roadblock. It's supposed to be a speed bump. And so for anybody out there that's listening and you're like, oh my gosh, this is speaking to me, I just want to remind you that you find the how along the way. And I'm going to be fully transparent. The easiest way that I know how to create how is to hire somebody where you want to go. And I'm talking to myself too, right? If I want to move my marketing platform onto LinkedIn. And I don't want to sift through the how, because right now I'm actually thinking about doing that. And the how is really annoying. It's like, okay, I don't know how the user interface works as much. I don't know how people read material. I don't know how they interact with posts. I don't know what's most effective on that platform compared to Instagram, where I've been the entirety of my business. But the how can't stop me. It's got to be a roadblock. And if I want to get where I want to go even quicker, I'm going to hire somebody that is very good at LinkedIn marketing. Okay. So that's the quick answer is don't let the how stop you. Find a way. And the quickest way, there's a lot of other ways. You can YouTube, you can Google, you can look at trainings, you can do free resources. There's a lot of that out there. The quickest way, what are those like speed passes at Disney World? So you can skip the line, is to hire somebody that's doing exactly what you want to do or is an expert in doing what you want to do. Okay, so that was the first thing that I wanted to address. Second question that I want to address is, what do I think keeps most women from being successful once they get to this space? This space meaning, okay, I have a business and I'm making some sales and holy crap, it's a lot harder than I expected. Let me tell you, that is what I have been through time and time again. And now it almost feels like this pattern or this roller coaster ride that I get on and get off of. And I'm just a little bit more familiar with the feeling versus the first time I thought, oh my gosh, what am I doing here? I need to apply for a job. Some of you guys know this story. I did apply for a full-time job. And then I was like, no, I don't actually need to do that. And then some really cool shifts happened in business. But I think that is just the path of least resistance for me. You know, for years, that's what I knew. Work for somebody. Somebody will tell you what to do. This is how you do it, right? And so I think that was the path of least resistance. And I think it comes up. I think it's going to come up in the future at some point when something feels sticky. But the thing to remember is that you're doing what you do for a reason. The dreams that you're given are on purpose. And that's such an important reminder. I met with somebody in a coffee shop this morning. First thing this morning, we talked about a workshop that I'm going to run for his team. And listening to him talk about the challenges that they have on the team and what they're hoping to get out of the workshop, and then him listening to my feedback and why I think what we're going to do with his team is going to be so successful and so impactful, was one of those, what I like to call God winks, where it was like, yes, Paige, you are doing this for a reason. You are put on earth to do this and you are grounded in your purpose. And so I left the coffee shop and I called my mom on the way home. It's only like a 5-minute drive, so I knew it wouldn't be too long of a conversation. And so I called her and I told her what had happened. And I even told her about the God wink and how I'm just really thankful for those moments. And she said, Paige, I know how convicted you are in doing what you do. So why are you always looking for those affirmations? And I thought about it for a moment and I was like, I think I'm always going to pay attention to those affirmations. I think that's really important in guiding me through this journey of impact and business growth and everything that I want to squeeze out of this life on earth, right? I think I'm always going to look for those affirmations. I'm just going to know where to look. And that's important because you pay attention to you, right? Like where are those conversations where you leave and you feel so alive and so activated and so excited and just moved? Like, what are those conversations? Who are those people that you're around? What are you doing physically? You know, what are those projects you're working on? Who are those people you're drawn to? What material are you drawn to? That's all information. That's all information that you can use to get you connected to your purpose if you're somebody that's still looking for it. Hey, listen, it's okay to want to make more money and make that money doing what you love. I remember too clearly what it felt like when I realized that I was in a decent job, living a decent life. Sometimes I caught myself wondering, what am I even doing anymore? Because deep down, I was pissed, knowing that I used to dream of being on a big stage and making a big impact, but I wasn't doing that. And then I knew I wasn't meant to follow somebody else's plan. But even knowing that wasn't quite enough. Because I'd get stuck at, okay, I know this isn't for me, this isn't my purpose, but what's next and where do I even start to find that? If you're in that boat, I've got you. I've got a free resource that you're gonna love. It's called The Online Entrepreneur. This 5-part mini podcast series is private, but you can find the link in the show notes below. It's the blueprint to create, market, and sell your offer in the online space. Wait. If you're like, Paige, I don't even know what my offer is, that's what episode 1 gives you. And the best part is that they're all under 20 minutes. Very bite-sized, very easy. So go grab the link in the show notes to start listening now. Your time is too valuable to wait on your dreams. And the other thing I'll say is this. When she asked me the question, like, why do you need all the affirmation? I had to pause and think for a moment about how the doubt never goes away. No matter how big I grow, how many clients I serve, how big these contracts are that I sign, or how much income I'm making, the doubts don't go away. They just are in a different arena. I feel them in a different arena. When I moved cross country and started working at Arkansas softball, I had a lot of doubts. Like, I don't know what a director of operations does. I did not know that going into the job that I said yes to, that I moved across the country for, right? And I figured it out. And I had doubts then. I had doubts stepping into full-time business, or even starting my business when I was still working with a full-time job. I had doubts. And so with those doubts, what I'll say is that you're going to acknowledge those, but you also have to acknowledge those little God winks or those little nudges along the way that are saying, yes, this is the direction you want to be in. Yes, this is a reminder of who you are. Yes, this is the reminder of the impact that you have on people. And something that I've been doing this month, well, I guess we're only in the beginning of April. It's April 4th when I'm recording this, but what I've been doing over the past 30 days, I'll say, is being more intentional about telling people when they've had a profound impact on me. Because that's the thing that you don't always get to see, especially when you're in business and you're marketing on social media, or I'm speaking to you here on the podcast. I don't know who's listening to this. I don't know everybody who's been impacted by my words or the examples that I share or the vulnerability that I share. I just don't have the ability to know that right away. And so it's nice when you hear that. And I'm not sitting here asking like, hey, can you DM me and let me know what landed for you? I do ask for that at times, but I'm not asking for that now. I'm just telling you that my intention has been to really let those people know who have been so vital in my growth personally and professionally. People I've bought from, people I've listened to, people that I've looked up to. I just need them to know. And I think it's so valuable to hear that. And I think for them, maybe it's a challenging season that they're going through, and my, hey, you've changed my life in this way, is going to be impactful for them, or is going to be that reminder to keep going, right? Because I've said this before, but life is that thing that you live forward, but understand in reverse. And you get enough life in one arena under your belt, and you kind of know what to anticipate. You know what challenges that are going to come, and you know how to navigate those. I'm going to sit here and say, I need more time under my belt in full-time entrepreneurship to get even more confident in those nudges and where I'm going and how I'm building this thing, right? And so I hope that you're hearing this today thinking, okay, I feel seen. I feel heard. I think that I can do things a little bit differently. I think that I can listen to those nudges. I think that I can look at those God winks. I think that I can say, yes, this is my purpose, or no, this is not, or I'm still thinking about it. Give yourself that grace to really feel who are those people that you're around that really activate you. What are those messages that you want to lean into more? Or maybe you're the type of person that reads the beginning of an email and doesn't go further, but maybe you're reading an email that's just like, wow, this person is speaking to me. Why is that? What is it in you? Where is it speaking? Right? Like, lean into those things. That's my encouragement for you today. Find your God winks, find your little nudges that say, hey, you are exactly where you need to be and you're going in the right direction. And even if you don't know what those are, again, go back to what feels really good for you, whether it's projects, people, opportunities, podcast, books. What are those messages? What are you drawn to? And another really cool thing too is to listen to what feedback you get from people around you. What do they constantly ask you for help with? What comes easy to you that seemingly doesn't come as easy to other people? Because newsflash, that is your gift. And it's easy for us not to see our gifts. It's like a fish recognizing water. He's always in it. He's always using it. But you don't always know it, right? And sometimes other people can bring that out. So really hope that's impactful for you guys, and just wish you a great rest of your week. I hope today's episode inspired you on your journey in the arena. Make sure to check out the show notes in the description for a rundown of today's show with all the important links. If you enjoyed this, please share with a friend. I know how much it means to me when my friends share podcasts. Leave us a review and let us know what landed with you over on Instagram at Paige_Rene15. As always, your best bet is on yourself.